Today I'm going to do a simple basketball shoot. So we're going to run on up. We're going to click on the backboard. Brah, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get the ball. We could try it again. Got it. And we'll go ahead and see if we can get a little bit of a fancier shot. Oh, missed it. Brah. Anyway, I thought that'd be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get started. I have an empty base plate right here, and I'm going to use the basketball from my last video. If you didn't watch the last video, that's fine. I will put a link in the description to get to this page to get the ball from the last video. So go ahead and navigate to this page. This will say Get Model. If you don't have that basketball, you press it, close that window, go to Toolbox, Inventory. There it is, basketball carry. I'm going to drag it on out. Sweet. There is one script. Hit OK because that's what we did in the last video. Now, the animation isn't going to work in the basketball until you publish it under your account or the game creator's account. So we're going to go to the Avatar tab. We're going to go to Rig Builder. We're going to grab a rig. We're going to need it for our shoot animation anyway. I got that Mesh Avatar 2012. I like that one. And then open up your basketball carry. Get your anim saves. We're going to drag that to the rig. All right. Now in the rig, go ahead and hit your animation editor. Hit the rig. Look at that. It loaded right up. If it didn't, you might have to go load and then find it, right? But we can save that off. You don't really need to because it's exactly the way I just drug it in. And then set animation priority action. Ensure that that's correct. We're going to hit publish to Roblox. There we go. Ball carry. I ran into some problems with that for the moderation. It took me like a day to get the sanitized ID error to go away. Just keep in mind, you might want to give it another name that Roblox doesn't flag, but I think we'll be all right. I'm going to hit my submit. There we go. And then we're going to hit this ID right here. Sweet. ID copied. Close. I'm going to go to the basketball carry, that accessory. And then you'll see the carry anim right here. And you just go ahead and paste it. Control V. Boom. Let's try it out real quick. I'm going to hit the play button. And things will start up. Make sure your animation, I just closed that window. Let's make sure your animation is working. Oh yeah, look at that. It's carrying the ball. You go down here, look in your output window, no errors. Cool. You can get the player going to see if you can pass it too, but I think we'll be all right. Let's go ahead and turn this thing off and we'll get our animation going. Oh yeah, here we go. Boom. Get rid of this window. Boom. And we want to make a shoot animation. All right, so this is the ball carry. Let's hit these three dots here, and then we're going to go save as. We're going to save as new, and we'll call it something like shoot BB for shoot basketball, so we don't get confused with our weapon shoot. We'll do a save. There we go, and let's hit those three dots again. Check animation priority. Make sure it's action. It is. Cool. And I'm going to copy these keyframes. So I right click. Copy selected. Let's go out to like the 6th frame. Right click. Paste keyframes. And we'll start our movement. All right. So we got our waist is going to go down. Maybe should we put the head up a little bit like he's looking? Can we get the head? Ah, yeah, we got it. That hair messes it up. That's the one thing I don't like about this avatar. Oh yeah. He's getting ready. He's got to look. All right. Let's go ahead and copy select it again. Let's have him hold it for a split second. Just maybe 2 frames. Paste. He's lining it up. Right. And then let's go, I don't know, maybe here. Paste keyframes. This is where, now the scrubber bar's here on the last one. This is where we're going to swing back. Maybe move the head down a little. And let's just do another one for the arms. Copy selected. paste keyframes a little further, and then his arms are going to splay out. Make sure you get that upper arm. I didn't get it there. There we go. There, get the blue. You got what? 60 degrees? 60 degrees. I like those numbers, man. They put those numbers in there. It makes it easier. Let's go up a little. Hit the E key. 1, 2, 3, 4. 60 degrees. Oh, that was his lower arm. Control Z. We want upper arm. I wanted upper arm. You can make this however you want. All right, let's try it out. Turn off your looping, right? Toggle looping animation. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? If you want to speed it up, you can. You can move these keyframes in. I'm going to click that and drag. Click that. Drag. How about like that? So play around with those. See what you want. That's pretty good. I'm going to move this into, make the whole thing a little faster. Boom. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and save it. Hit the 3 dots. This saves it to the avatar so you can modify it later. And now we have to publish to Roblox. Right, shoot BB. Right, there we go. Hit submit. We're going to hit the ID, this little box here to copy the ID. Got to get that. And then I'm going to close the window. I'm going to go over to my basketball carry, hit the plus, hit an A, animation. This one is going to be shoot anim. Sweet. And then we'll go to animation ID, Control V. We're going to paste it, right? Or right click paste. Nice. Now let's make a backboard to check this out. I'm going to close my animation editor and then go over to the home tab, add a part. There's the part. I'm going to close my rig so I can find my part. Cool. And we'll call this backboard. Backboard. Make it a nice color so we can see it. There we go. Whatever that is, lilac. And then go down to the size. You can make the size whatever you want. I think I had like 7 by, well, maybe 8 by 7 by 0.25 in the demo. But play around with those numbers. All right, cool. Let's move it up. Let's hoist it up a little bit. I think I'll put it like 13 studs high. Sweet. And that'll work. Right? We're not going to do the hoop yet. We're not going to do the score yet. We're doing the shoot today. So I'm going to hit my anchored. Check. And it should hang out there. Now we need to get a script so that when we click on it, we'll activate the shoot animation for anybody who's holding the ball. So since the mouse has to talk to the ball, we're going to need a remote event. Let's scroll down to replicated storage. Hit the plus. There's your remote event. And we'll call that shoot RE. How about shoot RE? Let's scroll down to starter player. Open that up. Starter character scripts. Hit the plus. We're going to add a local script. So add the local script. And we can call this something like shoot loc. I'm going to make this text a little bigger. Maybe 1, 2. And we'll get rid of our print statement. Let's add a variable, local, RS for replicated storage, game, get service, replicated storage. Let's get our shoot RE from replicated storage, RS, wait for child, shoot RE, there it is. And then we'll get our user input service, game, get service, user input service so we can capture the mouse events. And then we'll get our players service. So local players with an S, game, get service, players. From the player service, we will, whoops, I got that X in there for local. We'll get a player, right? So players dot local player. That's your player on your device that you're using. We'll do a local mouse. We'll get the mouse from the player. So player, get mouse. There it is, get mouse. Nice. All right, we need to get our user input service. Input began event. We will connect that to an anonymous function. We're going to get past that input. We're going to get past a flag that I'm not going to hook up. and that's the game processing flag. So we'll say if mouse dot target, right? And so the mouse has a target, and I'm going to do this for the phone and the mouse. So we'll do the touched event and the phone. So I'm going to do parentheses there. I'm going to get input dot user input type equals enum dot user input type mouse button 1. Let's move this to the next line. Hit enter right there. You can keep it all on one line, but I want you to be able to see it. Then I'm also going to say for here, or. So this is going to make sure we have a target and either mouse button 1 was pressed or the touched event on the phone. So I'm going to hit an enter again to move this to the next line. Not exactly how I wanted it. I'll reformat it in a second. Let's get the input dot user input type equal to enum dot user input type touch. All right, I'm going to get this. I'm going to put it back to the next line. All right, so this is going to work on the phone too. I usually don't do that, but I thought this would be a good game for a phone. All right, and we'll do local target will equal the mouse dot target, right? And then if target, we checked, but I don't know, I always check it again. And target dot name equals backboard. Make sure you spell it the same as in your game, right? It's got to be spelled the same. I'm going to actually find the backboard, do a Control C, Control V. Then, so we got to click that purple backboard, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to fire off a shoot remote event, fire server, boom. And let's pass the mouse dot hit dot position. So we're going to pass that back to the server side script in the ball. Let's just do a quick test to see if it works. I'm going to put a print statement right under my shoot RE, and I'm going to say shoot loc, and I don't know, we could print something out, right? We can say target name or something like that. There we go, target name. Control C, Control V. All right, we just want to see this print out. So I'm going to hit my play. Now, we don't need the ball to shoot yet, right? And we don't have the animation working or anything. We are just checking to make sure that when we click on this backboard, boom, we get a printout. And we do. Nice. Backboard, 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 backboard. All right, let's go back. Let's turn this game off. And I'll get rid of the output window for now. I am going to go to the ball manager, and I'm going to capture that remote event right here. Let's set some variables up. First, though, we have our carry anim. Do Control C, Control V. Let's make that shoot anim. Get the shoot anim. Shoot anim. There it is. Shoot anim. Oh, IntelliSense messed me up. And then we'll get our replicated storage for our remote event. Local. Replicated storage. Game. Get service, replicated storage. Then we need to get the actual shoot RE from replicated storage. RS, wait for child. Let's do shoot RE. I think I'm going to use this get hum and load anim. So I'm going to go underneath to capture my shoot RE. Shoot RE dot on server event connect to an anonymous function. The player will get passed in first. The position that we clicked on the backboard is going to be the second argument. So we need to know if, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit. We need to know if somebody has the ball, right? So if char that has me does not equal nil, and the player that got passed over name equals char that has me dot name. Remember, the character name and the player name will match in Roblox. All right, and now let's get our humanoid from the player. All right, there we go. Got a nice little helper function, but we got to call it get hum player. There we go, and we get the character. All right, so the character is just hum.parent. Well, actually, we could have just gotten this one right. We did a check. Oh, well, that's fine. And then we'll get the ball accessory. Parent. We need to pop it off of the character, right? Because he's going to shoot it. So we're going to make the ball parent the workspace. Then let's get the humanoid root part. Char. Wait for child. Wait for child, humanoid root part. We want to get the direction between the humanoid root part and where we clicked on the basket. So I'll do a dir, right? Dir equals, that's the position we clicked, minus the humanoid root part's position. All right, and now this is the funny part. Oh, wait, we still need the distance. Let's do the distance. So for the direction here, I'm actually going to make this a unit vector. I could have just used that as the magnitude for the distance too. That's all right. We'll get the distance, player, colon, distance from character to that position. That's pretty cool. I never used that. I figured I'd put that in there. All right. So when you pop that accessory off of the character, it's going to go in the workspace where you created it, which is not right in front of them, right? Ah, bummer. So let's change the C frame of the ball. That's the handle of the accessory. We'll say pivot to, ball pivot to, humanoid root part, get pivot, get pivot, that's a humanoid root part C frame, and we'll add that to, how about HRP get pivot dot look vector. Let's get a little fancy, right? We could just call this C frame. Let's call that HRP dot C frame. It's a little easier, right? I know I'm being a little contradictory here by using the get pivot, but it'll be fine. All right, now how far out? Because that's only one stud in front of the character. Let's make it 2 times the look vector. So you're going to put 2 studs out in front of the character. Let's try that out. Let's anchor the ball in place for now so we can see where that is. So let's do a ball dot anchored equals true. And then we can also see if this is firing, right? So we're going to hit our play. We're going to pick up the ball because the character has to have me. Let's go ahead and get that output window. All right, good, no errors. We're going to click. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? It's almost like I played with it before the video to get the number right. So that's working, all right? So your ball should be hanging there. It should position itself right in front of the character. Let's go back to our ball manager and continue with our coding. I'm going to shut that output window so we have more space. And right here, I think right after the distance, I'm going to make some changes, right? Let me put a space here. And I'm going to get rid of this anchored because we don't need it anchored. We're just doing that for testing. Let's put another space. All right, so in order for there not to be any lag for the person that's shooting, and I didn't do this in the demo, but let's do the ball. I didn't have a problem with it in the player, but you might have a problem with it when you're playing the game in real. I'm going to do the ball set network owner to player so that you see it first before it shows up on server side, the person who's shooting. Right? I think that makes more sense. And then let's get our shoot track. We'll create it. It won't be global. We'll do shoot track. Load animation. We made that in the last video. It should be there in the ball accessory. And then we're going to pass in our shoot anim. We need to turn off the carry track, right? So we'll do carry track stop. And I'll set that to 0. So we don't really need a transition because the shoot starts right from the carry, right? So we'll do the shoot track, play. Now, the one that I had out there for the last demo, I did not turn can pass to false. So it could accidentally stick to you if it bumped the body part. So let's do can pass false. Let's induce a little delay. I should have probably put a trigger in the shoot so that we could fire off the release, but I'm just going to time it out, right? So I'm going to say wait. I'll do the shoot track dot length, and then we'll maybe multiply that by 0.6. How about 0.6? So we're shortening the shoot track of the length so that when he actually lets go, I'm going to take this right here, do a Control X to cut it, I'm going to paste it right there. Now he lets go of the ball will be in front of him about the time length it took to get to the arms coming up, because I didn't do animation trigger. I figured loading it between multiple characters, we could run into trouble. So I'm trying to mitigate that problem. All right, now I need a force. I'll do a local, I'll call it B force for ball force. We're going to get our direction. Let's pop it up a little bit. So let's take the direction and add, I don't know, maybe 3 times the HRP dot C frame dot up vector, right? So that's going to create some upward force. We'll do a dot unit. And now this is the part that you're going to have to play around with for force. I think I'll put this on the next line. I was doing 3.6. I mean, you go to a force calculator website, you can get a better equation, but 3.6 times the distance times the ball get mass seem to provide pretty good numbers. There we go. So this is going to be of magnitude 1. You're taking the direction between the player and the backboard. You're adding the upward component times 3, but then you're normalizing it to 1. You multiply by 3.6. If you're using vector force, this will have to be a bigger number, right? We're going to use assembly linear velocity. And then we'll get the distance times the ball mass. I think that's going to be good. Now, I just played with those numbers, right? I just played around until I saw something that I liked. So you'll have to play with those numbers too. All right, so we'll do the ball dot assembly linear velocity, which is great for knockbacks and guns and stuff like that. We'll use our B force and assign it. All right, now we got to set a few variables, right? Reset them. We need to make a creator tag for points, just like for guns, but I'll do that in the next video. Let's get our character that has me. We'll set that to nil, right? And then we'll get our cooldown. So wait cooldown. And then let's get the ball set network ownership to auto. So Roblox will take over the network ownership. Who sees what first? Then we'll set our can pass back to true. Let's try it out. So let's hit the play button. And we'll go view output. And you're going to have to play with that number, right? What did I do? 3.6, I think. And let's click. It's a little light. It's a little light. You might want to increase your force, right? But you're going to have to play with it. I don't know. I can probably make a basket with that. We could change the upward direction on it too. It's a little bit light. Let's move back a little bit, see what happens. Oh, he overshoots. So your players are going to have to know about where they can shoot from, which I don't think is a bad thing. In the ball manager, here we could stop it. Let's go back to ball manager. Remember, these are your numbers, right? This is going to be the upward component, right? This is going to be the force. You may want to increase that, but the further you are back, the higher the probability of overshooting the basket. But I think that's pretty good. I will see you in the next video.